Okay, good morning, miss. Welcome back. Before starting the session, I have created one Google Classroom, guys, and I added those who confirm their joining. Can you please, make sure that you accept the invite? I have sent an invite to these people. Okay. Oh, Seshank, everyone accepted the meeting. Okay, everyone accepted the invite. Okay, so I'll start giving assignments over here, guys. Okay, and those who confirm your joining in the last 2 days, I'll add you to this Google Classroom.
So can you add my name?
Okay. And now I'll start giving assignments from today in the Google Classroom, guys. The first assignment I am going to give is Excel basics and Word basics. Okay. So this is what I want everyone to start working on this Excel basics and Word basics. And then we'll discuss static IP, dynamic IP. I think we already discussed, right? So by default, you'll get a dynamic IP. If you want static IP, actually we need to pay some additional amount and get it from the from your ISP, internet service provider. Okay. One second, guys. Someone is asking for Zoom meeting ID. All right. Now let me give this assignment and let me show you quickly how to learn this Excel basics and Word basics. So if you are having a licensed version of Windows OS, so once you launch a blank workbook, right? Go to help and can you please check this, everyone? Go to help and click on the show training. Click on this show training. You have some Excel videos as well as there will be short videos on what is row, what is column, what is cell, formulas and functions, formatting, and all these tables and charts, pivot tables, etc., etc. So please go through these short videos on Excel, right? So and coming to Word, same is the case with Word as well. Launch a blank document and go to help, show training, and you will see some short videos, Word for Windows training, starting with quick start, write and edit, format, text, layout pages, etc., etc. Guys, those who are from non-computers background, very important, guys. Those who are from computers background also, if you are familiar with this, well and good. Otherwise, you need to go through this. Please go through this because we will be using Excel and Word on a day-to-day basis in our IT career. Okay, whether you are into manual testing or automation or functional or security testing, right? Or performance testing, sorry, right? Whether you want to manual or automation or performance or security testing. So we'll be using this Word and Excel on a daily basis. Okay. So you should know some basics. You need not be proficient in them, but however, you need to know some basics of how to use Word and how to use Excel, how to create a document and all those. So please go through this. I will give an assignment over here in the Google Classroom, guys. So once I add, these are general. These are not related to either LoadRunner or JMeter, right? So these are general things. I'm giving the assignment, as tomorrow, due date as tomorrow. So not just watching, guys, please practice them. So for instance, when you are going through Excel and when you watch these formulas and functions, you need to practice those. Okay. So please get hands-on experience on this. You need not join any training for this. So you can go through these videos and you can practice this. Can you please check if this option is there for everyone? Okay. You should have received an email now, guys. Can you please check that whether you got it or not? Those who confirmed you're joining already. And those who are added here, can you please confirm that, like you received the assignment? Okay. So please practice and complete both of these Excel and Word, videos or training videos, and complete this as soon as possible. Because once we start the tool, like you will be having daily assignment, guys. Daily assignments, you will have tool installation. You may get some issues, installation issues. You will be busy with that. So please complete this by this weekend. Both of these Excel and Word by this weekend, right? At least complete 7 to 8 videos on each one of them. Clear, guys? And now today, now I'll move on to the next one. I'll start with SDLC, software development lifecycle. Okay, we'll discuss what is software development lifecycle, right? And then I will also explain what is testing lifecycle. Clear, guys? I think like that makes our session, today's session. Yeah. So what is SDLC? Software development life cycle stands for software development life cycle. Let me bring up your class notes document. I'll share this class notes document also with everyone after the session, immediately after the session. Right? Now, what is software development life cycle? What is the meaning of that, guys? Suppose if now this is a typical these are the typical phases in any project development. These are the typical phases in any software development or in any project development. So it starts with requirement analysis. First, all the requirements will be gathered, right? And requirement analysis will be done, and then the application will be designed by the architects, development architect, right? There will be an architect guy who will design the application. When you say design the application, so which programming language to use, and what is the database, which database to use, right? How the application should be like should be developed. All that will be done in the designing phase, right? And now once designing is done, next comes implementation phase. Implementation phase means converting the design into code, or this is nothing but coding phase. The implementation phase is nothing but coding phase. Okay. And then guys, those who did not receive the assignment, I'll share it after the session. Okay. You need to confirm your joining and by paying the fees. Okay. To get added to the Google Classroom and receive those assignments. Clear, guys? And then, so implementation phase is nothing but coding phase. So once coding is done, then testing phase will be started, right? Previously it used to happen that, once development is done, then testing used to happen, right? However, nowadays, this testing is being started along with the development, and because every project is following agile methodology, right? So every project is following agile methodology, and in agile methodology, testing will be started as soon as development is started. Okay. Testing will be started as soon as the software development is started. Right? So in agile methodology. So now what is this, what is this model called where testing is started after coding is done? Right? So that is called as waterfall model. In waterfall model, testing will be started after development is done. Testing will be after coding is done. After coding or soft development work is done. Okay. So this is waterfall model. Clear, guys? So we'll discuss in detail about waterfall model and agile methodology later on. For now, you understood the difference, right? What is agile? So what is the meaning of agile, by the way? Agile meaning, right? What is the meaning of agile, guys? Move quickly and easily, right? Move quickly and easily, right? So we'll discuss more about agile methodology in coming up sessions. Okay, we'll discuss that later about waterfall model and agile methodology. Okay, now So once testing is done, right, the application goes into production. This is nothing but evolution phase. Means the application goes live. This is evolution phase. Clear, guys? Right? And now we are not interested in this requirement analysis or design or implementation. And we are more interested in testing, right? Isn't it? So let us understand the testing life cycle, right? Before I move to the testing life cycle, so this is one of my favorite quote about testing. To tell somebody that they are wrong is called as criticism. To do so officially is called as testing, right? Makes sense, right? And we are paid for that, right? Our job is like to find out the defects, application defects, performance issues, defects, etc. Clear, guys? Now let us move to testing lifecycle. So once the coding is done, I would like to replace this diagram. I'll replace this diagram, guys. Okay, with a 1 second. Just give me a moment, guys. We'll discuss this or we will discuss all these 6 phases of software development lifecycle in detail, guys. So here we have deployment. After deployment, we also have maintenance phase. If you observe here, in the previous diagram, we have analysis, requirement analysis, design, development, testing, deployment. Here we also have maintenance, which is important. That is why, I have updated the diagram with this new one. And we will discuss who is product owner, right? Who is the project manager, and who is called as business analyst, right? We'll discuss all those in detail. Okay. In the coming up sessions. And then you also have system architect, UI designer, and all this. We'll discuss those in detail. All right. Now let us understand testing lifecycle. So we are interested in this testing part in this phase, right? Where you see solution architect, QA engineer, tester, and DevOps team, isn't it? Where these come into picture. These teams comes into picture. So we are more interested in testing. Now let us understand the testing lifecycle. So once some piece of code, first comes unit testing. First comes unit testing. In testing lifecycle, first comes unit testing. And unit testing is done by developers. Now, what is the meaning of a unit, guys? What is the meaning of a unit? Unit means a small piece of something, right? A small piece or a small part of something. Guys, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So first, as
Yeah.
developers develop some, as soon as developers write some code, right, they will touch that piece of code. Or let's say, for example, if it is a Java program. In Java program, there will be a lot of classes, Java classes, isn't it? There will be a lot of Java classes. Now, as soon as a developer develops some Java class, they will touch the Java code. Or else, as soon as a developer writes some function or a method or a procedure or a module or object, they do unit testing. Unit means a small piece of something, a part of something, right? And unit testing is done by developers, and it is also called as white box testing. Unit testing is also called as white box testing, and it is done during the development phase or coding phase of an application by the developers. Now, why is it called as white box testing, right? Why unit testing is called as white box testing is developers know each and every internals of the application. Guys, these are basics that, every performance engineer or every functional test engineer and non-functional test engineer should know. So please don't, don't miss any of these sessions. These are fundamental concepts. Also, if at all there are any questions on this, those questions will be in the first 5 or first 10 questions in your interview. Okay. So one interview question you can expect on this is, what is white box testing? What is black box testing? Okay. What is white box testing? And what is black box testing? Why are they called so? Why are they called so? Right? So what is white box testing, guys?
Unit testing done by
Backend testing.
Yes.
Backend testing is a white box testing, like
Right.
API and all.
Right. White box
Yeah.
testing is unit testing done by the developers. Right? And what is black box testing? Black box testing is, okay, let me explain. Black box testing is testing done by the functional testing team. QA team is called as black box testing. And why this is called as white box testing and why this is called as black box testing is, when developers are doing unit testing, then they know each and every internal of the code. Yes or no? They are well, because those are the guys who develop the code, right? That is a white box for them. But when functional testing is doing the testing, right? So, they don't know anything about the code. They don't know any internals of the application. That is why that is called as black box testing. We'll discuss more. First, let us complete this unit testing. So unit testing is white box testing done during the development or coding phase of an application by the developers. And unit test isolate a section of code and verify its correctness. And a unit may be an individual function, method, procedure, module, or object. Now let me explain what are this, what is this function, method, and all this. Okay. What is meant by a function? Meant by a function in any programming language. Right? What is function? Just Google search what is a function in a programming language. Right? What is a function, guys? It is a sequence of program instructions that perform a specific task. Right? Packaged as a unit. Packaged as a unit. Or you want me to give a simple definition? So function is a piece of code. Function is a piece of code which does a specific task. Right? Which does a specific task. Clear, guys? That is called as a function. And we also, method, right? We also saw a term called method. So function and method are used interchangeably. So let me give some example. For example, if anyone is having any programming knowledge, basic programming knowledge, you might have written some addition function when you are learning programming, right? Initially, you might have started with this, addition function, or there is a, like a sum function. A function is there to sum up two numbers, add two numbers, right? And let's say sum is a function, and if you want to add some two integers, so we pass those two integers to that function like this, right? Sum is a function which add these two numbers. Okay. Now, C, so C is equal to A plus B, right? That means we are adding these two numbers, A and B, and storing it into C. As simple as that, right? C is equal to M. C is equal to A plus B, right? Clear, guys? This is how it will be, and return C. Yes, you need not, those who are from non-computers background, you need not worry anything about this. So this is a simple, I am just explaining what is a function. So you need not or understand, or, of course, it is simple to understand as well. So we are passing two numbers to this function. And what does this function does? It will return the sum of those two. It returns the sum of those two numbers, as simple as that. Clear, guys? It will add those two numbers A and B and stores it in C, and it returns that C value. Clear, guys? So this is a function. So it is a piece of code which does a specific task. Is it clear, guys? You need not learn any programming, guys. Just understand this concept. What is a function? That's it. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right? So now, this is a unit. Suppose developers write some code like this, so that they test that unit, that piece of code, that piece of code, right? Or that unit, that is called as unit testing. Clear, guys? And we'll discuss method, procedure, module, and object later on. Okay, it's a bit early to explain that, but let's move on to the next concept. So once developers do the unit testing, right? They need to see. Okay, let me take some example for this integration testing to explain integration testing. Let me take some example. Let us say a group of developers are working on Gmail application. Okay. Or you can take any Amazon application. Why Gmail always? I'll take some other example. Okay, let's say so a group of developers are developing this Amazon application, right? And now see, the complete application will not be developed by a single person, right? A group of developers or a team will be working on this application. Let's say, like one team will be developing the front end, one team will be working on the back end, right? And one team may be working on the database, writing the queries and, using those queries, isn't it? Now, once these pieces are once, all these pieces are developed, right? They should be combined together, right? Yes or no, guys? Are you, if you take Gmail example, okay? Let's say, like, let me log into my Gmail. Suppose a group of developers are working on Gmail application, right? And let's assume that, one team is working on this mailbox, another team is working on this, we have, different applications integrated with Gmail, right? We have YouTube and Google Maps, Play Store and Gmail, Meet, Google Meet, Drive, Google Drive, Contacts, Google Contacts, right? So now at the end of the day, all these pieces of code should be integrated together, right? Yes or no, guys? Are combined together, isn't it? So that, like once you click on Google Drive, you should log into your Google Drive from here. Or once you launch, like Google Docs, you should launch your Google Docs like this. Yes or no, guys? So this is my Google Drive, isn't it? And this is my Google Docs, right? We have different applications integrated together, right? And now each application may be developed again by a team of developers. Yes or no, guys? Right? And you have Excel sheet, Google Sheets. Let's say, one team of developers are working on Google Sheets. And now that has to be integrated with Gmail application, isn't it? So that, we can open our Google Sheets from our Gmail, isn't it? Now, all these applications are, pieces of code should be combined together, right? Right? So once they are combined, we should do some integration testing. We do some integration testing, right? In an environment called SIT environment, where SIT stands for system integration testing. System integration testing. Not only software, guys, we'll take some other examples. Suppose if you consider any vehicle, a bike or a car, right? It will have thousands of components, right? And now each component will not be manufactured by a single person, isn't it? By a single organization. Yes or no, guys? So for wheels will be manufactured by one company, or steering wheel will be manufactured by another company, seats will be manufactured by another company, the chassis or headlights will be developed by manufactured by another company. And they will test their own product as soon as the product is developed, right? They will do the unit testing, isn't it? Again, once all these, in the assembling unit, all these pieces or all these parts should be combined together, isn't it? And they will be tested again. Yes or no, guys? Right? So in the same way for software also, like, we do something called system integration testing. What is the meaning of integration, guys? Integration means here combination, combining something. Combining different parts, right? That is called as integration, right? And now once all these components are combined together, integrated together, we do something called integration testing. So integration testing is defined as a type of testing where software modules are integrated logically and tested as a group. Now let me explain what is meant by a software module. Module means, to give you a simple example, let us say if you take Amazon application, this can be one module. Add team can be another module. Business. Okay, let me log into my other, personal account. So let us say if you take this Amazon application, so this can be one module. Amazon Mini TV can be one module, isn't it? Right? So in the same way, these different applications, of course, nowadays, these are developed as microservices. We'll discuss that later in the last 1 week. What is a microservice and all, we'll discuss that later. Previously, we used to call them as modules, or this application used to get developed as different modules. However, nowadays, we have something called, microservice. Each of these are developed as a microservice. Clear, guys? Now, all these, after combining all these modules or different parts of the application, we should test it again, and that is called as integration testing, system integration testing, and it is done in an environment called SIT environment. To help you understand this, consider or remember that car assembling example or a vehicle assembling example. Is it clear, guys? Different parts of any vehicle will be manufactured by different companies, right? Yes or no, guys?
Yes.
And before shipping that product, they will do unit testing. They will test that, let's say, for example, there is a manufacturer who is manufacturing the headlights. Before shipping that or before selling that product out of their factory, they will test it first individually, isn't it? And again, once it is assembled, once all these different components like wheels or your car seats or your doors or let's say, is audio system, right? Everything will be combined together and again they will be tested whether they are working as expected or not, isn't it? After integrating together, whether they are working correct or not, isn't it? So that is called as integration testing. In the same way, software also, like any typical software project consists of multiple software modules coded by different programmers or teams, right? And now the purpose of this integration testing is to expose any defects in the interaction between these software modules once they are integrated. When they are integrated, are there any defects in the interaction, right? So to identify that, we do something called integration testing. Clear, guys? And it is done in an environment called SIT environment, where SIT stands for System Integration Testing. Okay. And what is meant by an environment, guys, by the way? What is meant by environment? So environment here means nothing but a computer or a group of computers on which that application is deployed, right? Environment here means an application, means a computer or a group of computers on which the application is deployed and running. As simple as that. So once integration testing is done, right, then comes functional testing. And it is done in an environment called QA environment, where QA stands for quality analysis or quality assurance, right? Once the system integration testing is done, then comes functional testing, and it is done in QA environment, where QA stands for quality analysis or quality assurance. So let me add this also to the class notes. I'll share this class notes document with you guys. What is meant by environment, guys, by the way? QA stands for quality analysis or quality assurance. What is meant by environment here?
It's a group of computers.
Sir,
Right.
dedicated for
So-
quality purpose, sir, quality testing purpose.
What is it?
A dedicated environment for quality testing purpose.
Yeah, sorry, your voice is not clear actually. Anyways, but you are saying something about this environment. So computer on which, a computer or a group of computers, right? On which your application is running. On which the application is running. Or deployed. Okay. Is deployed. Right? And quality assurance. So functional testing is done in an environment called QA environment, where QA stands for quality analysis or quality assurance. Now, what is this functional testing? What is the meaning of functional testing, guys? Again, I will take this Gmail example. So let me open a new window. Okay. And type gmail.com. Okay. Now, once you type gmail.com, please look this. I'll take some other browser. I'll take some other browser. I'm taking Edge browser. Suppose if you type gmail.com, right? Once you type gmail.com, you will get this login page, right? And where you need to enter your email or phone, isn't it? So let me enter my email ID, right? Perftest.kb. Okay. At gmail.com is the full Gmail ID. Otherwise, I can simply enter perftest.kb as well. Yes or no, guys? And click next. Now, what should happen now, guys? Once I click on next, See, it automatically identified that, because we are on Gmail, right? It automatically identified that, this is the Gmail ID, full Gmail ID, and it is prompting for the password, prompting the user to enter the password, isn't it? So if I enter a correct password, it should allow me to log in, right? And observe here this. But if I enter some junk characters like this, let us say if I enter some, junk characters like this, I'm entering some, okay, or else please wait, let me go to the previous screen. So here I am supposed to enter my email or phone because, we cannot see the password there. That's why I'll take this example. Suppose if you enter a valid email address, right? It should take me to the next screen and ask for the password. But if I enter some junk character or phone number also, for example, if I enter my phone number, 10-digit phone number also, it should allow me to log in, isn't it? But if I enter some junk characters like this, this is not either, this is neither email or not phone number, isn't it, guys? This is neither email nor phone number, isn't it? So now what should happen, guys? Once I click on next, if I click on next, what should happen? What should happen next, guys? What will happen next? So your application will throw an error message, isn't it? If you click on next, it will throw an error message in red color, isn't it? Saying that, could not find your Google account, right? So this is functional testing. This is how the functionality is defined. If you enter a valid email or phone number, and click next, you should get the password page. But if you enter some invalid number, right, or you enter some invalid characters like this, right, it should display some error message. That is how the software is defined here, or that is how the functionality should work here. This is called as functional testing. And if you are doing the functional testing manually, that is called as manual testing. If you are doing functional testing with the help of some tools like Selenium, etc., right? Selenium or UFT, etc., that is called as automation testing. Clear, guys? Functional testing is testing functionality of the application, and it can be classified into two types. One is manual testing, the other one is automation testing. Is it clear so far, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. And now this is also called as black box testing. Why is it called as black box testing, guys? To test this, to do this testing, right? To do this functional testing, this QA team need not know which programming language the application is developed, and they need not know the code and all. Yes or no, guys? They simply feed them the input and examine the output. Functions or features are tested by feeding them input and examining the output. What is the input in this example? What is the input in this example, guys, that we took now? Okay, here it is. So you enter some email or phone number, that is the input, and examine the output. What output the application is giving? Yes or no, guys? See, this is the input, proper input or acceptable input, and this is the output from the application, isn't it? It should ask for the password. So when you are doing functional testing, we feed the application some input and examine the output, and we test the features of the application. And functional testing ensures that software requirements are properly satisfied by the application. Functional testing ensures that software requirements are properly satisfied or the application is working as expected. Clear, guys? So that is functional testing, and it is also called as black box testing. Please remember this. Okay. And now why it is called as black box testing?
Oh, without knowing the programming knowledge to test the application.
Sorry, can you please repeat it? I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, without knowing the programming language to
Right.
test the
Right. Without knowing the programming language or without knowing the architecture of the application, functional team can test the application. That is why it is a complete black box to them. They don't know what is inside that application, or they don't know, how the code is written. Right. It is a complete black box to them. That is why it is called as black box testing. Functional testing done by QA team is called as black box testing. Clear, guys? Is it clear, or any queries, guys? Now, once functional testing is completed, next comes, non-functional testing or performance testing, right? Now, performance testing is done in an environment called test or engineering environment. There will be a separate environment for performance testing, and that is called as test environment or engineering environment. And what is performance testing? Performance testing is non-functional testing to determine an application speed, responsiveness, stability of a computer, network, software program, or a device under a workload. So it is non-functional testing. We don't bother about the functionality. Functional team is there to check the functionality of the application. So performance testing is non-functional testing to determine an application's speed, responsiveness, stability, right? Now let me go to the next slide. It is defined as a type of software testing to check the non-functional aspects. Non-functional aspects. See, performance testing is not the only one non-functional testing is. Under non-functional testing, all these come under non-functional testing. Your performance testing, security testing, usability testing, compatibility testing, all these comes under non-functional testing. Okay. Performance testing is one of the non-functional testing. Clear, guys? And security testing also falls under non-functional testing. That is what I mentioned here. It is defined as a type of software testing to check non-functional aspects, that is performance, security, usability, and reliability of a software application. And we have multiple performance testing tools. Out of those tools, LoadRunner, JMeter, NeoLoad are the most popular tools. In the same way, we have multiple automation tools also. Out of them, Selenium has major market share, isn't it? Selenium has major market share, right? If you want to pursue automation testing career, Selenium is the major option. Majority of the companies use Selenium. And again, in Selenium, when you use Selenium, we have Selenium with Java, Selenium with Python, Selenium with C#. Isn't it? Yes or no, guys? Some organizations use Selenium with Java. Some organizations use Selenium with Python. Some companies use Selenium with C#. Clear, guys? So if you want to pursue automation testing career, you need to learn those programming languages. However, if you want to pursue performance testing career, no programming language is required, right? Expertise is not required. You just need to know fundamentals. And that is the beauty of performance testing career. At the same time, you will have equal or more packages than automation test engineers or even developers as well. Okay. Equal or more than developers as well. And that is the beauty of performance testing. And in performance testing, we have till like 2 years back, these are the two popular tools, LoadRunner and JMeter. However, some companies are started using NeoLoad because LoadRunner license is very costly. LoadRunner license is very costly. That is why some companies, who don't want to use JMeter or any open source tools, they are opting for NeoLoad. NeoLoad, or there are a couple of other performance testing tools like WebLoad, etc. However, this is the order of, priority or for many companies. Most of the companies use LoadRunner, JMeter, and NeoLoad. And then NeoLoad comes in the third place. Clear, guys? All right.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. If we compare like JMeter and LoadRunner openings, like which are more like
Out of LoadRunner and JMeter, which one has major market share?
yeah.
Okay. Both of them are having almost equal market share. And why most of the companies ask for LoadRunner and JMeter is like, LoadRunner, one license, basically they are expecting one license tool and one open source tool. Experience, if you see any JDs, right? So let's see some job description, or let us see some openings, guys. So let me show you some openings, where you can see that, okay? Where you can see some of the openings. So performance tester, consultancy services, it seems. Okay. Chennai, this is for Chennai. And let me show you some of the openings to help you understand, what are the major performance testing tools in the market. Okay. So this is for 2 to 5 years experience. And what are they asking, guys? With focus on JMeter. You see here, minimum 2 to 5 years of hands-on experience on performance testing tools with focus on JMeter, web, mobile, and web services applications, right? And more opening. Let's go to, okay. Level 1 is a video call. Level 2 is face-to-face interview, right? Most of the companies are asking at least 1 round from office because, like if they accept virtual rounds, we know what happens. Everyone knows what happens, right? And now another opening from Randstad for 4 to 6 years experience. And what they are asking is 4 to 6 years of experience. What are the tools that they are asking? Hands-on performance testing in web API and mobile for more than 4 years. and JMeter, LoadRunner are similar tools. Hands-on experience with performance testing tools like JMeter, LoadRunner are similar tools, right? When they say similar tools, WebLoad, NeoLoad, there are a lot of other tools also. That is what they are expecting, but you can see that they clearly mentioned LoadRunner and JMeter, isn't it? And this is from IBM. And what is their requirement? What is the tool requirement, guys? JMeter, you see here again, JMeter, isn't it? Gatling, Locust. JMeter, Gatling. See, one or more of the following technology areas. Okay, they are not expecting everyone. Everyone to have experience on all these tools. One or more of the following technology areas. They are expecting 3 years of experience in any of these tools. Clear, guys? So if you see any JD, if you see any recent JD or old JDs, old job descriptions or any openings in Naukri, so that is what you see most of the companies look for LoadRunner and JMeter. Let me quickly open few other openings. Pathlock for Pune location and Jade Global. This is for again for Pune. Here they mentioned JMeter, isn't it? And Performance Engineer IBM. This is like the same opening, I guess. Pathlock. What are they looking for? We are looking for a performance tester in our organization. And what are the tools that they are looking for? They are looking for mostly JMeter. I see JMeter here. And apart from this, yes, 2+ years of experience in HP LoadRunner, right? Of course, this is Micro Focus LoadRunner, or now it is open text LoadRunner. Micro Focus was acquired by OpenText, by a company called OpenText. Nowadays, it should be called as OpenText LoadRunner. If you see here, they are asking JMeter and LoadRunner, right? Any JD, you see any JD, like they will be looking for someone who is having experience on both LoadRunner and JMeter. You see over here, right? JMeter scripting experience, LoadRunner scripting experience. Clear, guys? I'll stop it here for today, and we will continue tomorrow. Any queries before we close today's session, guys?
Hi, sir. Do we need to have any expert knowledge on SQL as well, sir? For
It's
experience,
not
right?
mandatory. However, some companies ask, SQL knowledge, and some companies ask Linux commands, basic Linux commands. Okay. So when you say SQL knowledge, you need not be an expert, but yes, you should know SQL basics, SQL basic queries, SQL CRUD operations in SQL. Okay. Which I will cover in the training. Let me show you that. I will cover some of these CRUD operations and SQL basics also in the training. CRUD operations and SQL basics. Okay. So I will cover these in the training. You need not write inner joins, outer joins, and all those. But however, if you are already trained in SQL, that will be added advantage. And one more thing. So let me explain, one more wonderful feature of performance testing career. Suppose if you are, or else let me explain what is the skill set that would be advantages for performance testing career. So if you know Java, if you have some basic knowledge of Java, yes, that will be helpful for performance testing. That will be helpful for performance testing because 80% of the applications that we test will be Java applications. That we do performance testing, right? Will be Java applications. So that is why if you have some Java knowledge, that will be helpful for performance test engineer. And then SQL, yes, SQL will be advantageous. Or if you have any knowledge or prior, you took any prior training on Linux, yes, that will be advantageous. That will be helpful, right? Or if you are trained in Java, .NET, that will be helpful because we also test .NET applications along with Java applications, isn't it? And if you are having any, experience or knowledge on manual testing, yes, that will be helpful, right? Someone who is having manual testing knowledge can easily understand or should be able to understand easily what is non-functional testing, and they should easily grasp the things, and it should be easy for them to develop the scripts and do the testing, right? Because they are already aware of functional testing. Clear, guys? So all these are, see, nothing is mandatory out of this, but this will be added advantage for performance test career. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Even if you don't know any of this, we have people who got, like from B pharmacy background and hotel management degree background who got placement after our training, right? I think I have explained this in my demo session. I will not repeat that again. So we have people from D pharmacy background and hotel management background also who got placement already after the training. Clear, guys? Okay, I'll stop it here, guys, for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. I'll close the meeting. And guys, those who joined for next, 10 to 11 a.m. batch, 11:30 a.m. batch. So please rejoin, guys. I'll close the meeting so that, this meeting will be converted to MP4 format. Okay. And guys, those who want to continue the training, so please, you need to confirm your joining. Those who want to, get added to the Google Classroom and the WhatsApp group and all this, please confirm your joining as soon as possible. Right? If you need some more time, yes, you can still attend the demo sessions, but you'll start receiving assignments, training material, and WhatsApp group. You will be added to the WhatsApp group only after you confirm your joining. Clear, guys? I think I already informed that in the WhatsApp when I'm sending this invite. So we can add only confirmed participants to this WhatsApp group, to the batch WhatsApp group. Okay. And thank you and have a nice day. Signing off, this is Pawan from MGM IT Training. And see you tomorrow, guys.